distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you to Classic Hall 3, a journey from Carnegie to Disney. I am Gemma Jordan, and it is my privilege to be your host for this evening's program. Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited is very pleased that you chose to spend this Friday evening with us. And on this memorable occasion, we present to you the talented members of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra of Belmont and 3 other youth steel orchestras. This year, St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra is celebrating 2 milestones: 15 years as a steel orchestra, and they will be staging their 10th Youth Steel Band Extravaganza on Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Queen's Park, Savannah. In their short existence from 2003 to present, this steel orchestra has achieved quite a lot. They have had successful tours to Mexico, Guadeloupe, and to the USA. In June 2015, they performed at the New York Sounds of Summer Music Festival at the prestigious Carnegie Hall in Manhattan, New York, a stage on which only the world's most talented musicians perform. At the end of their performance, they left the audience spellbound and received a standing ovation. In April 2016, they participated in the Orlando Spring Music Festival, where they won all categories in which they competed and emerged champion of champions. In June this year, 2017, at Disneyland in Los Angeles and at the Los Angeles International Music Festival at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, for their exceptional performance, they again received a standing ovation. Our participation at these international music festivals was made possible through the generous financial assistance of an organization which takes corporate social responsibility very seriously, Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited. On behalf of the management and all members of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, I express sincere thanks to Dr. Uric Bob, Chairman, members of the Board of Directors, and the management of Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited. Thank you for your support and for investing in our nation's youth. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited. I can say without fear of contradiction that these talented young musicians of the 4 steel orchestras on this evening's program, Exo Cubs, Success Stars, Pan Sounds, BPTT Renegades Youth Steel Orchestra, and our hosts, the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, will mesmerize you with their melodious music. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this musical interlude by the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra as they entertain you with 3 pieces. Love Never Felt So Good, composed by Michael Jackson, arranged by Timothy Matthews, and he will be conducting them. And we have a special guest who will be performing with them, ace trumpeter, our own Etienne Charles. Next selection, I Have Nothing, sung by Whitney Houston, arranged by Shaquille Noel, and he will be conducting them. And our 3rd piece in this very first musical interlude is Waving Flag by Kanan, arranged by our musical director, Miss Chanel Abraham. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And please put your hands together for the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra as they play for us a musical interlude. gentlemen, the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. And I have to boast a bit. You see the two conductors, they are young. They are products of the dynamic music program, which is at the St. Margaret's Boys Anglican School. So we have our homegrown arrangers and conductors. They have both gone on to study music, and they have come back to the orchestra to give of their talent. So put your hands together for our young arrangers and the conductors, Timothy Matthews and Shaquille Noel. And I hope you notice that our players must not only sound good, they must look good. You notice the choreography? Oh yeah. And they pay attention to every minute detail, and this is what has them, where they are today. So we want to congratulate St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. And we want to warmly welcome an ardent supporter of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, Dr. the Honorable Nian Gadsby Dolly, Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. And she's always there for us. Welcome, Dr. Dolly and your family. We hope you enjoy this evening with us. And someone who has invested in our youth and who shares the vision of St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra is the chairman of Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited, Dr. Uric Bob, and I now invite him to the microphone to give us some remarks. Please, let's welcome our generous, very, very generous, thank you, Dr. Bob. And he did a very good television interview.
Honorable Chief Justice and Mrs. Archie, Honorable Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Right Reverend Claude Berkeley, Bishop of Trinidad and Tobago, His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Joel Martinez, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you had the hors d'oeuvre, and so this greeting follows a wonderful introduction to the evening's ceremony. This evening is just another landmark in the journey of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, and as consequently of the St. Margaret's Boys Anglican School, its students, its staff, parents, and its community, Belmont. I had intended at this point to highlight some of the achievements of the St. Margaret's Youth Orchestra since the alliance with MHTL starting in 2015, but the master or the person of ceremonies has already run through several of these, so I will not take any more time at that, except to add that recently we were approached and encouraged the band, and the band did produce a video recording of the national anthems of Trinidad and Tobago and of India, which will be played at our country's Independence Day celebrations in New Delhi later this year. These highlights which the chairperson spelled out of the many appearances of the St. Margaret's Youth Orchestra in New York, in Orlando, in Los Angeles over the last few years, they illustrate how St. Margaret's proudly upholds the excellence of which we as a people are capable. And that is a quality that we see every day at MHTL, where our world-class plants are wholly operated by nationals of Trinidad and Tobago. It is no surprise, therefore, that MHTL was naturally drawn to the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. This is an organization that thrives on values such as discipline, self-reliance, mentorship, teamwork, trust, and excellence. All of these are core values that build the social capital that is so necessary to enriching community and national life. This evening's concert and tomorrow's workshop with two international adjudicators show that St. Margaret's is keen to leverage its international exposure for the benefit of other youth steel orchestras, arrangers, musicians, indeed for our community as a whole. We salute St. Margaret's for its vision and his generosity of spirit in sharing with the community as a whole. I extend a warm welcome to the international composer, Mr. Brett Abigania, whose composition entitled An Equal Place, inspired by our national anthem, was written specially for this evening's concert and will be performed by the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. I also welcome the two adjudicators, our own Dr. Dawn Batson and Dr. Jimmy Finney from the Florida Memorial University. You have already started to enjoy the evening. You had the taste, as I said, of the hors d'oeuvre, so I just invite you to continue to enjoy the spread that now comes in the main course. Thank you so much, and welcome.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Uric Bob, Chairman of Methanol Holdings Trinidad Limited. And I can say on behalf of the management and every single member of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, a sincere thanks to Dr. Bob and Methanol for supporting our young people of Trinidad and Tobago and for investing in the culture of our beautiful country. Thank you, Dr. Bob. At St. Margaret's, we are who we are because of very good management. And at this time, it gives me great pleasure to invite to the microphone the manager of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, a man with a vision, a man who knows exactly what he wants the band to achieve, and he ensures that we live up to our motto, we are cultural ambassadors. Ladies and gentlemen, here he comes, the manager of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra, Mr. Kurt Abraham.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. Ivor Archie and Mrs. Archie, Minister of Culture, Dr. Gatsby Dolly, and her family, member of the Diplomatic Corps, and others that I am not privy at this time. Welcome. I put away my speech because the mistress of ceremony, Dr. Uric Bob, stole my thunder because most of the things I was going to speak about, they already mentioned. Now, I would just like to say at this time that concerning our motto, we are musical ambassadors, that has been ingrained in all of our students. And the band lives up to that. We have gone out there over the last few years. We have, as Ms. Gemma Jordan had mentioned, we have toured from Mexico right through to the last one in LA. And we have met along the way a lot of people who are excited and really wants to come to assist the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So through this journey, we met Mr. Brett Abigania. He wrote a piece that premiered in Carnegie in 2015. St. Margaret's was part of that performance. After that performance, he approached the band and he asked if he could write a piece and if we are willing to play it. Now, we felt honored for such a great person to ask us to do a piece of his. Then we must remember our Dr. Dawn Batson. She is known right around the world as one of the top adjudicators. In communications, many, many years ago, she invited some of our students to Miami to take part in their cultural activity. But not only that, she let them attend the university classes, and that could have been somewhere in about 2011. So at age 13 and 14, they were sitting in the university classes in the University of Miami. And they learned a lot. And for that, they started and set goals since then. Throughout our journey as we continued, we were recommended to have a conversation with Dr. Jimmy Finney. We understand that he's a great musicologist. He's the head of the Indiana percussion section and also the head of the steel orchestra in Indiana. Now, these three persons that I've mentioned has offered their services to come to Trinidad and assess all the youth orchestras and all the youth composers. Right away, St. Margaret said, we are willing to work with the other bands in Trinidad and Tobago so that the music that we have already have out there could only get better. And I would like to personally thank Mr. Brett Abagania, Dr. Dawn Batson, and Dr. Finney for coming here to Trinidad and offering their services free of charge, with the only thing that they want is to help the people of Trinidad and Tobago reach exactly for what they aspire to. Now, Mr. Abagania did write a piece that has been inspired by our national anthem. So I think at this time he feels that he's a Trini to the bone, and he has offered his services in the next few years. And now I can safely say, St. Margaret's, we believe that the greatest gift is in sharing and giving. So we are giving back to others what Methanol has assisted us in reaching our goals. So again, we want to thank Methanol, the board of directors, the management staff, and I also would like to thank the members of the St. Margaret's organization. We work hard, our committees, we work along with the parents, and at the end of this program, you will see the hard work and the dedication of the St. Margaret's Steel Orchestra. So thank you very much for paying attention to what I had to say, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kurt Abraham, manager of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. And he just said to me, Gemma, you stole my thunder. It's not that, you know, it just goes to show that we're all on the same page. So thank you very much. And I must say that Mr. Abraham has always been a father figure and a mentor to all our young men in the Steel Orchestra. So thank you very much, Mr. Abraham, and please continue to be the dynamic and efficient manager, the mentor and the father figure that you have been. Please put your hands together once again for Mr. Kurt Abraham, manager of the St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this evening's program is one with a difference. As Mr. Abraham said, St. Margaret's Youth Steel Orchestra has benefited tremendously from our participation in foreign music festivals. And we want other youth steel orchestras to have the same opportunities and get the same advice that we got that has led to our development and improvement. And to assist us with this project, we are honored to have two internationally renowned music adjudicators. Dr. Dawn Batson. Dr. Dawn Batson is a creative professional with 20+ years of experience in multicultural education. She utilizes music and the arts with emphasis on the steel pan as a medium for cross-cultural outreach. Dr. Batson has conducted workshops for corporations and not-for-profit institutions in the Americas, the Caribbean, Great Britain, Europe, and North Africa. A professor of music, she also served as chair of the Visual and Performing Arts Department at Florida Memorial University. Dr. Batson holds a PhD in International Affairs and Music a Master of Music Industry from the University of Miami, and a Bachelor of Science in Music Education from Hofstra University. Some of the selected honors include the Who is Who in America, Who is Who in American Teachers, Who is Who in American Women, Caribbean Cultural Leadership Award, and the Lifetime Achievement Award for her outstanding contribution to the international steel band movement. Ladies and gentlemen, our own homegrown Trinbagonian, internationally renowned music adjudicator. Put your hands together for Dr. Dawn Batson. Our next adjudicator is Dr. Jimmy Finney. Dr. Jimmy Finney joined the Indiana State University Music Faculty in 1994. He has presented solo and chamber concerts and clinics and master classes throughout the United States, Canada, China, Austria, Thailand, and Hungary. He performs regularly with Moja Tuba, that's brass, percussion, and dance fusion, Cramped Spaces Ensemble, that's piano and percussion quartet, the Caribbean Consort Steel Band, and the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra. Jimmy is an artist clinician for the Zijan Cymbal and Innovative Percussion Mallet companies. As director of the Indiana State University Percussion Ensemble and Steel Drum Band, he has presented numerous concerts on elementary, secondary, and university campuses throughout the state of Indiana. Similar performances have also been presented at the Percussive Arts Society's Indiana Day of Percussion, Indiana Percussion Association Clinic Day, and Indiana Music Educators Association Conference. Dr. Finney holds degrees, Bachelor of Music Education from East Texas State University, Master of Music from the University of Georgia, and Doctor of Musical Arts from the University of North Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jimmy Finney. And I had the pleasure of asking Dr. Finney, are you enjoying your stay in Trinidad and Tobago? Would you like to know his answer? Do you want to know his answer? Of course I am. I had bacon shark, I had crab and dumpling, and I had Morby. So, he is certainly enjoying himself. Welcome to Trinidad, Dr. Finney, and enjoy our great Trinbagonian hospitality. Ladies and gentlemen, our very first participating steel orchestra this evening is Exo Cubs. From the Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine, Exo Cubs was formed in 2000 and has nurtured hundreds of young people through the medium of steel pan over the years. Apart from winning numerous junior panorama titles, the band has enjoyed national success at both the junior and senior levels. They were 2003 and 2005 Junior Steel Pan Music Festival 21 and under champions, and 2004 Senior Steel Pan Music Festival Ensemble winners. In 2009, the orchestra received international acclaim by winning the Special Ensemble category at the prestigious International Youth and Music Festival in Vienna, Austria. In 2016, under the musical directorship of Barry Manette, the orchestra performed at the Iguazu in Concert Festival in Argentina. With a current membership in excess of 100 youth, the organization focuses on the development of its members using visual and performing arts and regularly participates in social work and community building activities. This evening, they will be performing for us the classical piece, In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg, and our own by David Rudder, Ganges and the Nile, arranged by Barry Manette. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and warmly welcome Exocubs Steel Orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for EXO Cubs. EXO Cubs, and they gave us In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg, and our favorite Ganges and the Nile by David Rudder. And I hope you noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that they're not only playing pan, no, they have to sing melodiously, and you have the choreographed movements. And all of this really, when it's put together, really adds to the performance. It's no longer playing pan, it's a matter of performing while playing our national instrument. If you enjoyed their performance, put your hands together once again for EXO Cubs Steel Orchestra. Thank you, EXO Cubs, for that thrilling performance. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a reservoir of talent. And we know that these young people are going to take our national instrument to the world for many, many years to come. Now, at St. Margaret's, we have friends. We have so many friends, and we are thankful every day because, you know, good friends are hard to find. But we have people who have been with us from inception in 2003 and have been there for us and with us throughout the years. And this evening, some of them are here to share their talent with you. We are happy to have with us a young lady, and we have watched her grow from primary school all the way, and now she was a member of Divine Echoes. I think she now plays with a police band, but she's an accomplished musician in her own right. She has come with some of her friends to give us what I know will be a very entertaining performance. They are the saxophone quartet. They are led by Michelle Henry, and they're coming to play for us March Militaire, Opus 51, number 1. So ladies and gentlemen, they are setting up now, and shortly we will hear from Michelle Henry's saxophone quartet. But in the meantime, did you enjoy EXO Cubs? And all we are asking you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to continue to support our young people. You see, it is always so unfortunate that anything negative we hear about it. So when they're doing something positive, let us be just as vociferous, let us broadcast it far and wide that our young people are on the right track. Okay, so Michelle Henry's saxophone quartet, they are ready. They will be playing for us March Militaire, Opus 51, number 1. Let's warmly welcome Michelle Henry's saxophone quartet. Ladies and gentlemen, lovely, soothing, relaxing music. Put your hands together for Michel Henry Saxophone Quartet, the Marche Militaire, Opus 51, number 1. What a wonderful performance. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite to the stage Dr. Dawn Batson and Dr. Jimmy Finney to give us some comments on Exocub's performance of the classical piece In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. So let's warmly welcome our adjudicators, and these comments are intended to just show, to point out to our players exactly how they can improve. So the objective is to assist with their development. Okay, so we hope that they are listening and that they will take these comments in the spirit in which they are intended to assist with their development. So here's Dr. Dawn Batson, our own, now you're seeing her, ladies and gentlemen, our own Dr. Dawn Batson, and our honorary Trinbagonian, Dr. Jimmy Finney.
I don't think it's fair that I haven't had crab and callaloo since I've been here, but I'm not saying anything. I'd like to thank Exocubs for a wonderful performance. Don't you agree? We're only going to speak about the classical number for each of the bands. And please remember that it's not a competition. All we're doing is giving them a few hints so that they can improve. The Edvard Grieg, that's in the Hall of the Mountain King. If you know the story, in music, you're always telling a story. It's about this man called Peer Gynt, who he thinks he's everything. And he goes into the Hall of the Mountain King. That's the tum, 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 tum. So it's very quiet because he's sneaking in. And when he sneaks in, he finds the princess. And the princess falls in love with him. These are the trolls, they're not supposed to be that attractive. I think they themselves probably think they're attractive, but others might not find them so. So the princess falls in love with him. And he, the cad that he is, he thinks she's too ugly. So he spurns her. So you see. And now the Mountain King is angry So you hear how the music builds up, dum, 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 and now all the trolls want to kill him. And they start running, and they're running, and he runs, and he's running and running, and the music is getting excited. And then at the end, just as they're about to get him, which I think they should have, but that's my opinion, as they are about to catch him and give him his just dues, there are lots of good people in the world. He wasn't one of them. The mountain crashes down, and the trolls are buried under the mountain. And that was that big climax that they did at the end there. And so Exocub, they really did bring it. What we found was that at the beginning, it was a little soft, and it was harder to hear some of the notes and some of the phrasing and the bididim, badadam, badadam. They could have accentuated that a little more, get it a little cleaner. But overall, what we found was that their performance really gave the feel of the mountain. Dr. Finney?
Thank you, Dr. Batson. I had also two comments, but before I talk about the piece, I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you all for having me here. It's been an incredible pleasure the past couple of days. I've wandered downtown. Miss Rosemarie was very concerned many times because I was wandering by myself and she couldn't find me, but I always knew where I was. It's been a great time. One of the things I enjoy doing when I'm listening to live performances is to close my eyes. And I've had this continuous effect every time I listen to these really young groups. Is I close my eyes and I'm hearing this incredible music, but in my head I'm seeing these 30, 40-year-old, 50-year-old people who should be playing this music. So my point is the basic technical proficiency and ability of the steel drummers, especially young steel drummers in Trinidad, is really, really exceptional. Thank you. Yeah. I quite often understand the reason why so many here are extremely proud of the really advanced older players, but in all Western cultures where we're studying classical music, there are consistently virtuoses, very young people who often play as well and often, in many situations, outplay the adults. I think Trinidad has an incredible opportunity, especially with the support you all give to these young bands, to really have an incredible large number of steel pan virtuoses in this country. So I really applaud what you're doing with these young groups and supporting them, and really encourage you to continue to put monies into that type of education. No matter where I travel to, quite often education is the last thing we want to pay for. You know, we all want so many other things. The government has to fix so many things, but you know, we always say at home that money is a terrible thing to waste, but it really is true. So I applaud those who are supporting the arts and young students in the arts in this country, and I hope it's something myself can continue to help with here. Two comments. It's always interesting to follow Dr. Dawn Batson. I've known her for many years, and she's a treat to follow. She often steals the thunder as well. But in this particular piece, the thing that I really noticed is it's a recurring song that first starts in the basses, and then eventually everyone in the ensemble has to play the tune. So my main concern was when I first heard the opening statement, the da ya di, sorry, wrong pitch. Da 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 dee da dum dee da dum dee da dum dee ya da da dee ya da ya da ya da da dum. I didn't hear it played that expressively. And you really want to hear that clearly the very first time, because at some point within the next 5 minutes, every person in the ensemble is going to play that tune. Just like this shirt is sort of, what color is this? Orange. This shirt needs to stay orange for the entire piece. It doesn't need to be. Dr. Batson was dressed like a Christmas tree this morning for her interview, so she had lots of colors. This piece is not like that. The entire piece needs to have the same phrase. That phrase needs to be set up at the very beginning, I think, by what was the basses and the tenor basses, and then when the double seconds play that tune and when the tenors play that tune, it's the exact same shape, it's the exact same phrasing, and That's one of the things that, especially in classical music, is preferred that you do, that there is consistency with melody and motives throughout the piece. But again, so much of the technical proficiency, the correct playing of correct notes, familiarity with where the notes are on the drums, that's all there. But I think for the overall picture, there could just be a bit more attention given to proper shaping. But I'm very much looking forward to hearing these other groups. And again, thanks for having us here. And I look forward to more time with you this evening.
I just have to just state one thing about colors. Trinidadians are very colorful in everything that we do. Okay? So today, this morning, I had on a lovely colorful skirt, a nice blue blouse, and a very colorful scarf. And as I walked out of where I was, a group of gentlemen said, "Boy, you look like a Christmas tree." Just goes to show we are creative.
Look on the bright side, Dr. Batson. A Christmas tree is always well lit, and we love to see it. It is beautiful. So take it as a compliment. Put your hands together once again for Dr. Dawn Batson and Dr. Jimmy Finney. Thank you for those comments, and we know that Exo Cubs will take them, and it will certainly help them with their development. Our next band on stage is Success Stars Pan Sounds. From the Eastern Main Road in Laventille, Success Stars Pan Sounds of Success Laventille Secondary School is a school-based steel orchestra that has been in existence since 1984. They re-established themselves in 2010 and have achieved thus far hat tricks from 2011 in both the National Junior Panorama Competition and the National Sandfest competition. Two of their winning selections, done with original compositions, Pan Victory and Something to Celebrate. The success of the band has led to invitations from Atlanta, Georgia, Mexico, and Cuba. Led by the head arranger and musical director, Michael Gabriel, the band traveled and performed their arrangements on the national instrument. To ensure the band's longevity, Success Stars Pan Sounds have developed a system for their senior players to take leadership positions and groom new members. The band is currently captained by Kyle Lewis, and the vice captain is Amira Mohammed. The band's second arranger is a senior member, Brenton Joseph. Brenton is currently at the University of the West Indies and is also a music tutor at Mova Epiphany Anglican School. This evening, the band will be performing for us Handel's Hallelujah Chorus, and then one by the late, great Alwyn Roberts, Lord Kitchener, Pan in A minor, arranged by Michael Gabriel. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and warmly welcome on stage Success Stars Pan Sounds, Hallelujah Chorus, and Pan in A minor.